Hello again. It's Cowgirl Kate, either one. And I would just like to introduce you now to the finishes that I've had and also what I've been working on in January. Now February's here, I gotta figure out a new lineup, so that's always the best part. But anyway, let's get to it. I apologize if I'm shaking you guys around. Okay. Over here we got the Lavender and Lace Celtic Ladies. And so far I have finished 3 of them. Way back when summer was released, I decided that I was going to make a set of 8 Celtic holidays instead of the 4 seasons and Christmas, because we finally, we got summer, and MLI had promised that there was going to be a winter and the 4 seasons set would be complete, and plus Christmas. I decided to do the holidays instead. Here we have Mabon, and she is based off of Arwen in the Lord of the Rings movies. This is the dress that she wears. I can't even remember which one. But anyway, she's sitting there with the book and she drops it and she tells her dad that there's no ship that can take her anywhere. Anyway, that was my favorite dress, so I based this conversion on her. And I finished it in 2004, so it's been a while that it's been around, and she's still not framed. Framing sucks. It's so expensive. Over here we got one of her sisters, the Imbolc. She's got snowflakes everywhere. And the hood that I recharted. Thalie, Natalie, she also did a version of the cloak and hood, and that is just gorgeous. Yeah, she's a dear friend. She's awesome. And the funny thing is we were working on these at the same time and really didn't reveal what we were doing until we had enough progress, so it was kind of funny how we were on the same page. And then the little lamb. I'm still trying to figure out a way to chart him up for people that would even be interested in doing him, but I'm not very techy, I'll say that right now, but I'm working on it. Way back when I did do the rechart of the hood, I was bombarded with having to snail mail it out to people that had asked for it, and I didn't mind that, but the postage on it was getting to be atrocious, and some kind lady took pity on me and converted it to a PDF so that anybody could download it. It's been on the internet for years now, and it's saved me so much money. Bless her heart. So, that's the Imbolc. And this is the Beltane. And she's all her original colors. That's as charted. The only changes I did was for the lettering, obviously, and also the beads. I didn't like the colors, so I just switched them out to ones I liked better. And if you look at the pattern compared to this, I added a lot of extra ones too. I tend to do that because beading's my favorite. So they gotta have a lot, in my opinion anyway. And over here we have Mirabella, Mermaid of the Pearls. And I had her on a foam core, like my Celtic ladies here. But yesterday I noticed that she had a spot where a beetle, Asian beetle, they're horrible around here in the fall. I noticed a spot where one of them must have crawled on her because there wasn't any glass. Lesson taken. And it left a spot, so I took it off to wash it. And if you look back at her fabric, you can see where it has faded horribly. You see that? You can tell right where the fabric was behind the foam core and what was exposed to the light. So, lesson noted there. When I do get her properly framed, I'll have to make sure that's not showing, and also I'll have to keep that in mind to get UV glass for all of my projects that are on hand dyes, because that just bugs me. Anyway, changes that I did to her, I skipped out the big heart crystal and gave her a bunch of freshwater pearls instead. And I also tweaked her nose a little. I didn't like how it was in the original. And there again, she's gotten a lot of extra beads as well. She's so heavy. But I just love her pearls. Hey, such a pretty lady. Mermaid, sorry. So there's Mermaid of the Pearls. And let me check when she was finished. 2010. And Imbolc was finished in 2008. So I don't have a very good track record of finishes, but that's okay. I like starting them. Down here we have Mediterranean Mermaid, also by Mirabella. And she also got freshwater pearls. They're more of a disc-shaped pearl. They're kind of squashed. So I just like them better. They looked better than the big pony beads that she called for. And I also gave her peridot stones. You can see in her crown. They're little chips. And I think I ordered those from Fire Mountain Gems, I want to say. And the only changes besides those that I did for her, I skinnied her up a bit. I just left out some stitches along her back to make her a little thinner. And then down here I put some blue crystals, and I got those at Hobby Lobby. Just because I wanted some blue at the end of her instead of just all that green out there with nothing else to anchor it. Not that it wasn't pretty, but I just wanted some blue to kind of connect it to the rest of it. So that was Mediterranean Mermaid, and I finished her in 2003. And over here, this was my first Mirabella finish, and she's my oldest one. She was finished in 2003, other than my kit finish that I had. And this is Waiting for Ships. And her changes were I didn't put the stars on her. You can kind of see there's none. I just put a bunch of petite beads up on her top instead. And then I also gave her freshwater pearls. And they actually came off of an old necklace that had broken, and I still have that necklace because it was one that my aunt gave me. So it's just kind of a remembrance, and I try to add a few of those pearls from that necklace into all of my special ones. Excuse me. So there she is. So far, those are my major finishes. Other finishes I've had usually wound up being gifted away. Usually before I would even get a picture of them, just because I was in a deadline and it needed to get out. So moving on to what's been going on in January. Excuse me. First off, the challenge that was on the Heaven and Earth Facebook group. And here you can see this is mine. And I'm starting to fill it in, slow and steady. This is what the project will look like. It's the Gypsy Firefly by Amy Stewart. And my project for this is done on 18 count Devosa, which I love, especially for Hades because they're big and I hate Ada. For me it just does not work. It's too crunchy or stiff or whatever, and it just bugs me. I also started working on a project that I've had going for a while, and that is this one. The Gloaming by Maxine Gadd. And I'm not doing the background. That's a lot of gray and yee, no thank you. Excuse me. So instead I'm stitching her on Dusk Colorscapes hand-dyed fabric. Picture this plus com. Hardanger 22 count. And here's how I'm doing it. I'm just doing the lady. And I can't grid on this fabric with the marker pens like I typically do on my other ones. So I took a dark brown sewing thread and I just marked off, excuse me, every so often where the grid on the chart is. This is what the back looks like. And if I can get my camera to get in there real good, you can see I can cover that thread up and it's gone. I don't have to go back and take it out because it just disappears. Excuse me. So I think when I get to where her face is, because that's so light and pale, I'll use a white or an ecru or something like that and just go across like that, and that way I don't have to rip anything out. And yeah, I'm all about saving time because I don't get a lot of time to work on them. My other things that I got to do in January, I started this Heaven and Earth, and it's called Scale. And this is how far I've gotten. Ah, it's so pathetic. Not far at all. But what do? It still counts as a start, right? And beyond that one, I also started this one. And it's one of those cutesy designs that, yeah, it's very cute, but it's going to be a gift. So there again, it's going to go out the door and, you know, somebody else can enjoy the finish. So, and it's tiny enough that I'll probably frame it myself and send it on before I would, you know, you just give it to them like that. I'm not going to make a needle roll out of it. I'll frame it. So, and it's just barely started. It's got a few hearts. So, excuse me. My other endeavor for January, and pretty much probably all eternity until it's finished, is the Mary Wiggum wardrobe by Judy Odell. And that's how much I've got done on it so far. This is the travel piece. Excuse me. I spent a lot of time taking my in-laws to doctor appointments and waiting around, waiting for school stuff for the kids. This goes with me, so I'm not sitting there with nothing to do. There's no thread changes. It's all one color. It's just variegated. Excuse me. So it's, again, it's a very simple project that you can get a lot of time done on in a short, you can get a lot of progress done in a short amount of time. Sorry. I'm having a brain fart. So that concludes my finishes. I'm sorry it wasn't in the other video, but apparently my camera only goes so far and then it times out. So my apologies for that. And that's what I've been up to. Now to figure out what January is over. February needs something to happen, so I gotta really get on that. It's already the second weekend coming. So keep your fingers crossed. My next video will have some progress and hopefully some new starts again. Yay! Thanks for watching, and looking forward to seeing you all again. Bye!